All right, welcome back to Hanging with the Hooper today. Andrew Hooper on Hanging with the Hoopers. Tim is somewhere conducting meetings, I'm sure, growing business, doing things, but I'm very, very excited and honored to have our guest on today, one of our wonderful Energize conference sponsors, but someone who's more than just a sponsor, someone who's really impacting the title industry and title sales for good with his company. So help me welcome Mike Simon, Agent Brief, to the call. Mike, thanks for joining today, man.
Thank you. Great to see you, Andrew. Great to be here.
Now, where are you coming to the podcast from today? Like, where are you sitting?
Actually, today I'm out of Southern California. I'm actually sitting in Vegas where my son lives. So I'm doing this remotely.
Nice.
And it's a beautiful 75-degree day here in Las Vegas. So not bad.
We were joking before we hit record here. I walked in, the snow is melting off outside of Maryland. It's a balmy 33 degrees here in Maryland. Of course, you can see I have the Maryland crab on the wall behind me there. So, you know, all sorts of good sorts of good things going on. But Mike, you and I, like, one of the things for you last year when you were out for Energize, you and I had the chance to get on the road and drive down to Richmond from Maryland for the next day. Had some really good conversations, and I got to really dig into your brain and your vision for Agent Brief and kind of your journey and path. But a lot of the listeners, a lot of our clients and partners in the industry may not know your journey. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? How'd you land with a company like Agent Brief? Kind of what Agent Brief is all about. Give us your history and background.
Sure. So I've been in the industry a long time. I mean, I was at Realogy for a long time, and Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker. I worked for I ran Coldwell Banker, international franchising. So I kind of been around the space a really long time, but I wasn't really a product guy. You know, I was a marketing guy, I was a biz dev guy, I was an M&A guy, but I was not a, tech product guy. But in 2014, I got recruited to work for a company called List Reports, which was a automated marketing software really targeting loan officers. And that was kind of the aha moment for me, because I was like, wow, data is cool. And there's so many different things we can do with technology and the advent of mobile apps and all that. And it just got my head spinning. So while I was, helping build that company, my mind was racing about, I don't want to say things that were missing from people who come from, let's just say, the tech world, product guys, engineers, those guys, and then people who are in our industry. And I said, if I could just kind of bridge that gap between GWOW tech and real practical application, we might be onto something. And the thing that I kind of settled on was, in looking at real estate data, just how misguided people were when looking at real estate data. And you and I, we talked about this, how real estate data is bad anyway, right? There's a lot of human error into it, and it's inconsistent. So you got to focus on, just consistent data, making the data good. Then you had to focus on timing, thinking about opportunities. That's something, the big thing that we had to think about. But the first thing that really struck me was how people in our industry were looking at data pretty much solely from a historical perspective. What do I mean? They were looking at data to say, who did what with whom, who's cheating on me. Or the worst use case for data was, I'm a title rep, I'm looking at real estate data, and I want to see my name associated with the transaction. And all three of those categories really struck me as strange. I'm like, really, who cares? Like, you know this stuff. You won a transaction. You lost the transaction. You know who cheated on you, or you see your name associated with the transaction. Where is the opportunity? So I came up with this mindset that there is no sales opportunity in historical data. It's just regurgitating what you already know. It's either exciting you or depressing you, but you're not identifying new things. Right. So really the first thing we set out to do was to stop people looking at data, historical data, as some indicator for future opportunities, and really focus on identifying actionable moments in time. And that's really what Agent Brief set out to do. And then the second thing was timing. Like, he who knows about new opportunities first wins, right? You got to have first mover advantage. And then the third thing that wrapped it all together for me in thinking about our industry is that, and I think I coined this phrase, I'm not sure, but it sounds original to me,
We'll give you credit for it.
well, I'll tell it to you. Let me know if it's real. Relationships are not a moment in time. They're moments over time, right? We build relationships. Would you do this? What I do, right? So Tim does. Everybody on our industry, we're building relationships. So if I could get people focused on the fact that you need good data, you need time-sensitive data, but at the end of the day, you're building relationships, and it doesn't happen with one phone call, one text, one email. It's consistent engagement. That really gave me the basis for building Agent Brief. And again, you and I have not done this in a year. We had our car ride a year ago, and I know we talked about a lot of these things, but the refinement over the last year of taking my 30 years in the business as part one, and no matter what I kept coming back to, no matter all the new nuances and ideas and platforms and products that we could come up with, I still came back to one thing, that relationships are built in moments over time. And the more consistent you are in working with the end product, meaning real estate agents, the more consistent you are, the more timely you are, the more accurate you are, the more on top of things that they are, and the more present you are, the better shot you're going to have developing a relationship, developing trust. You get those two things down, you're going to see a lot more referral business. And that really was the basis for Agent.
Yeah, and I've loved, just the proactive piece of it, just alerting you, hey, your agent has something going on, right? From a new listing to just sold, et cetera. So you can be Johnny on the spot. And we always talk about reaching out with value. And I think one of the things that with some of your AI integrations and things that you've put into Agent Brief, it's more than just a, hey, you got a listing, or hey, like we try to train the sales reps, reach out with some value, right? Like around whatever that action is with the real estate agent or lender that you're working with. So it's a great tool. And one of the things that, again, I think helps it stand out in our industry is just that proactive reminder, right? Because I think data has always been so reactionary. Let me go in and check and build a lead list, et cetera. So I love how proactive you've really built the tool. But
well, it's a funny thing, Andrew, is that the whole thing that everybody gets focused on and tripped up on. And again, I don't dismiss that you got to have some sort of proactive outreach, but cold calling, nobody likes to do it. Right? Nobody likes to pick up the phone and call
people
somebody.
Don't like to get one either,
Right. And even when I hear title reps, well, I got an agent on the phone and I talked to him about this. I'm like, yeah, you talked to him about everything other than what's going on in their life. When we talk about engagement and active engagement, I try and remind title reps that you don't want a cold call. Right? You don't want to have to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, Andrew, it's me, Mike from XYZ Title Company. We've been in business since 1903. My grandmother started the business. Here's the products. Here's the service. Here's the tools. Here's our price. Here's everything. This is why you should use us. But you forgot the one thing. If the agent doesn't need you at that moment in time, it is a cold call. It's spam. It's wasting your time. It's wasting their time. So when you talk about timeliness, and you talk about using data and the ability to pick up the phone, send a text, send an email, and say, hey, I see you do this thing. Great job on that. You got a new listing. Here is how I can help you. You're having a different conversation because you have established that they need you, and then you're there with the solution. That's not a cold call. That's value. And if you don't lead with value, what are you leading with?
Yeah. And it's a way to stand out, right? If you're not giving something that's unique and helpful when you're reaching out, I think you blend in with everyone else just saying, hey, checking in, congrats on your listing, right? So, it's great.
You see my deck? My most recent deck says that. Why would you call up somebody, hey, it's me, I'm checking in? I don't know. You're my mother? Like, oh, wait, I'm fine. Thanks for calling.
The old check-in calls, right? The sales coach's worst nightmare and the sales team's favorite fallback.
Exactly, the check-in call.
The check-in call.
Just following
checking
up.
In. Is everything okay?
Right.
Yes.
Thanks, Mom.
Cool. Would you like a free financial review? No. Cool. Like the old taking it back from the day, the old check-in calls. So kind of pivoting here, you have a great product, you have a great tool. I know a lot of our agents leverage it. You've been a great partner here to Fidelity and obviously to the efforts that Tim and I have in coaching title sales teams around the region.
Thank you.
But let's pivot a little bit into leadership. So you've led teams, you've been on teams in tech and in real estate for a while. Just in your journey through the years building companies, what would you say is one of the key lessons in leadership and growth that you've learned over the years?
Humility. It's humility. I, what I recognized about when we launched Agent Brief
Mhm.
and what people in our industry want, aside from having somebody who they can talk to and has experience and speaks their language, is also accessibility. And whether it's the people who work for me or the customers we sell to, what I've realized, and more so as an entrepreneur than any other stage in my life, is that you are the face of the company, you're the brand, you're the trusted resource, and that is a very big responsibility. It's a
Right.
really big responsibility. And what I teach myself and what I've tried to learn over the years, what I teach my team, and you know that my son Zach works for me, and I've loved to watch his growth and leading by example. And what I try to explain to him all the time is it is your name, it is our family name, it is our brand, it is our face on this company. And what people are buying, as much as they're buying Agent Brief, is they are buying access to us. So our job as a growing company, our job as a player in the industry, our job as a resource to the industry, as an influencer in the industry, is accessibility.
Mm.
What people, I think, have gravitated to and what I've tried to embody for myself in how my team interacts with me, but also our customers. You call me, you're going to get me. People have my cell phone number. And I can't tell you of all the things that I've learned and done and process and ideas and management courses and all that. What I've realized is that people want to know that if they need something from you as a service provider to the industry, if my team needs something from me as their boss, right, as their leader, that they can get me. And
Mhm.
I can't overstate the importance of being accessible to the people who need you to be not only to be there to solve problems, but to take feedback. And if I would tell you that over the course of the last year, the number of new features that we've introduced in the product, 90% of them have come from me listening to our customers and them telling us what their needs are and us acting on that. And that accessibility, that ability to listen, that ability to be present, to
Yeah.
show that you're not just a name on a masthead, but you're a person, that you have a life, that you have interests, but also that you're accessible to the people who need you, whether it's the people who work for you or the people who trust you, give you their money and buy your product. Accessibility, being present, being a face that people can touch and feel and talk to and trust. I think that's really a big thing.
Yeah, and I think you kind of tied the whole kind of humility thing together there when you said like, sometimes as the tool is your brainchild, it's your baby, right? Like you've created something, you love it, you think it's the bee's knees and the cat's meow and the dog's bark and all of the above. And sometimes it's hard to get the feedback of someone saying like, "Hey, this is where it's not great or this is where it could be better." And I've seen in my past leaders who just shut that out. No, we have our clear, we know where we're going, and they don't take that feedback. And then what I do love that you've done is you've taken the feedback, you've really thought about kind of aggregating feedback, because I know just from our conversations you're always seeking feedback, and then you've rolled out some incredibly great features based on the either criticisms or feedback that you've received. And I think that's how you have to be you got to keep evolving, and especially, and I kind of want to get your brain on AI a little bit because I know you're kind of an AI guru. You get into it like me, but in this saga from the last 3 years of since ChatGPT dropped, right? Just over 3 years ago. And the amount of tech advancements we're getting almost on the weekly when it comes to AI, right? So it behooves you to be as adaptable and flexible and constantly innovating, because if not, you're going to get left behind, right? So
Absolutely.
on that note, when it comes to AI, like what's exciting you right now? I know you've obviously you have integrated AI into Agent Brief from a crafting messages perspective and outreach and all that. So it can apply to Agent Brief or not, but is there anything in the AI space right now that you're like, this is gonna be the next big change, or this is gonna really revolutionize things?
I'll talk about it a little bit differently. What's frustrated me about AI in our industry is the lack of focus of AI on the sales and marketing side. I see so much AI, operations, legal, compliance, things like that, but not in just how useful of a tool it can be in communication. And what I have promoted is there's automation and then there's using AI. And I think they're two entirely different things. And I get a lot of conversations, a little bit about how our product works, but people say all the time, Mike, if only your product did all of this for me. I said, we could automate a lot of things. Like we can automate responses. We could craft emails for you. We could send it for you. We could do all those things. And I think our entire ecosystem got drunk on AI automation.
Right.
I don't believe in it. Okay.
Same.
I believe in AI is something that supports your efforts in the blocking and tackling that you need to do in the business, which is building relationships. So when I get customers, and this is feedback that I take, but I refute all the time, people say, Mike, well, why can't you just do that? Why can't you just send that out for me? Why do I have to write something? Why do I have to think about something? Why do I have to do that? I said, well, because at the end of the day, our industry, while leveraging AI, can't replace the one thing that you do that AI can't do, which is this: talk, build relationships,
belly to belly, baby,
belly to belly. So when I look at AI, I look at it really in the way that I think salespeople, and I think people are very afraid of AI, right? They're terrified that it's going to take their job.
Some industries for sure should be more. Some industries should be scared more than others for sure.
Guess what? Not ours.
Not ours.
Not on the sales side. Not on the relationship side. Right. Yes, on the back end, the back office, all that. Say it may replace jobs because it probably can do things better. But what I encourage our users to do is embrace AI to support you, to help you, and we're constantly refining. Right. I remember when we first, launched our AI feature, and people were commenting, sounds AI-ish, or it was starting to get repetitive. And the evolution of what we've been able to do with it, to craft unique messages, to not repeat itself, to not sound like AI, to give you the ideas that you can leverage and generate your relationship building skills, or allows you to move faster. All of those things about AI from our perspective. And again, Andrew, I think we are maybe even rudimentary in the way we use AI, because we've really we've simplified it. We haven't taken it to the levels that other companies that can use AI for automation and for ideation and for coding. We do a little bit. We use a little bit for coding. But from our perspective, from our user, we want you to use it for creativity. We want you to use it for accessibility. We want to use it for independence. But primarily, we want AI to be used for speed. Because
quick time save, create margin, right? When you need a little spark on what to say when you're reaching out to someone new and get you started. I couldn't agree with you more on the whole premise and vision of like AI cannot replace the human elements in our industry, and the people who are trying, like from the sales perspective. I mean, the amount of, because I teach AI to real estate agents all the time on behalf of our title agents, the amount of people that DM me or come to me, hey, Andrew, you should teach this tool. it will make your, like, it'll send your messages and text to prospects for you and all this. I'm like, no, you're missing the boat. Like, no one wants to get a text they can tell came from my AI that says dear first name, right? Like, and I received one of those on LinkedIn the other day. Dear
Right.
first name, insert name
Right.
here. And it's because
Right.
someone has an AI automation just reaching out to people. So I love the Brian Buffini quote that says the contact, the care, and the community, those are the things that AI should not replace in the real estate business, period. So yeah, it has to be the supplement to it. So I love that's where you're at. And you're right. You've built it in to Agent Brief to be very simple, but to be very powerful in the sense of, hey, I just need to reach out on this to this agent. And boom, here's a starter line for you. Here's a quick starter message you can use that can help. So it's great. So as we're kind of getting to January, we were just kind of talking about the before we jumped on and hit record about coming to Maryland in January. So first I have to say thank you for making the sacrifice. Vegas and Southern California.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, babe. That's me. I am Steve Martin, John Candy, and I will be on planes, trains, and automobiles to get to you.
There you go. I love it. Maybe a motorbike too, right? Little.
Sure, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
I think this is your second year sponsoring Energize, right?
Yeah.
So you're coming back for round 2. So what is it about Energize? Like, you're coming back. I know there's a lot of conferences you do go out and sponsor, and you get the chance to see. What makes Energize something you're willing to walk away from sunny California for a few days and come to Maryland and Virginia in January?
Yeah. Well, I'm not blowing smoke when I say you and your brother first. Okay. Because when you meet kindred spirits and you speak the same language, everything is easy. We've had conversations over the years, and you guys have helped us grow, and we hope we've supported you. But when you get people who speak your language, and you come in from angle 1 and I come in from angle 2, and all of a sudden we meshed in the middle, your message and what you guys teach at Energize and what you talk to your customers about, we're just a tool that supports that. And that synergy you cannot replace. So I really do believe, first and foremost, that in keeping in the spirit of our conversation about relationship building, we have always seen eye to eye. We come at it from a different approach, a different angle. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what you do supports what we do, and what we do supports what you do. That's a partnership, bud. Win-win. And when you talk about, and again, I've been doing partnerships for 35 years. The best partnerships are when both parties win. It doesn't cost you more, it doesn't cost you less. A guy used to tell me, if I make $1 and you make 99 cents, we should both be happy. It's fine. It's not about the money that we're making, but it's mindset that we are doing something in a collaborative way that benefits the constituents that we talk to. So I will put a pin in this and say, first and foremost, you and Tim, as people, as industry experts, as supporters of ours, we want to do business with people who speak our language. And you guys have always spoken our language. So that's number one.
Thanks. The feeling's mutual. Yeah.
Thank you. Number two, it's you've got to be in front of the people that will buy your product. And I don't care how prolific people are with Zoom, and I don't care, or proficient they are with Zoom. I don't care. I know this, that when there is a face, when there is a name, when there is somebody to press the flesh with you belly to belly, man,
nothing beats it.
You can't replace it. And then finally, I get so, not to steal your terms here, but I get so energized by being around people and the ideas and the feedback and just getting that connectivity, that really just changes the game. So to be in front of those people who are hungry for ideas, who want to learn, you're bringing in people who want to learn something. You're who are not satisfied with the status quo, and they're looking for new things to excite them, to motivate them, to make their lives easier. So you got this great perfect storm. It is a nor'easter and it's all coming in together. And you're putting all that in one place. The energy is infectious. You guys are energetic, and that helps. And then we're just there as this incredible beneficiary of your enthusiasm, your energy, your intelligence, and bringing these people into one place. You can't replace that at any cost. So when I look at my life today and I talk to my guys in my company about where I should be, I'm like, guys, don't ask me to operate the business. Don't ask me to manage the P&L. Put me in a place where I can be talking to people. That is my highest and best use. And I love the fact that you guys provide that for them.
Yeah, well, we're very thankful, and thanks for the kind words. And alignment matters in this industry more than ever before. Partners you align with, and it's okay to not be for everybody, right? And I think a lot of us have to be okay with that too.
That's right.
But it's important to have alignment and like-mindedness in a shared vision. So we appreciate it. Now, when people come up to you at Energize, they come up to see Mike, talk about Agent Brief. What do you hope they ask you about? What's your favorite conversation to have at the table?
I need to grow. How does Agent Brief help me do that?
There you go. There you have it.
Grow. That's it. That's what I want to talk about. There's features, there's buttons, there's clicks, there's all these things to do. I want somebody to be in a mindset that says, I have been in this business. We were successful, but we're struggling. Be honest, right? Tell me what, and I ask the question all the time, what is your biggest business challenge today, tomorrow, next year, what it is? And typically it's pretty much the same, right? We've been in business. We've achieved a certain level of success. Our customers in the market know us, but we're flatlining. We're stagnant. How do you take us to the next level? How can we use Agent Brief as a growth engine? And then our conversation is really easy because that's all we think about is we're here to help you grow. So are there more complex products? Are there more technologically advanced products? Sure. I said, we're not here to break things. We're here to help you do things that you know you need to do, but make it simpler, make it faster, make it easier, and yes, deliver better results. So when somebody comes up to me and says, Mike, I need help growing, man, that's an easy conversation.
I love it. And again, I love the focus, the old acronym KISS, right? Keep it and I say super simple.
That's fine. That's
Keep
fine.
it simple, stupid, right? But yeah,
that's
keep
fine.
it super simple.
You're kinder and gentler than I am.
A little kinder, like who knows? Now, on a fun note, I've been asking a few of the sponsors, if your team had to describe you using one word, what would that word be?
Oh boy. Singularly focused.
Oh, that's good. Focus. I like it. Singularly focused. That's what you need to have. So
singularly focused.
Hey, Mike, listen, you're the man.
Thank you, buddy.
This has been good. Yeah. This has been good just to talk through, and hey, we're thrilled again. Thank you for the partnership. Can't wait to have you at Energize. Enjoy Christmas out there in the sunny deserts of the Southwest. And,
I'm just putting this out there right now, Andrew. I need a lift from Baltimore to Richmond. So if we could drive together,
we'll definitely be doing some carpooling again. It'll be great. I can't wait.
Thank you,
hey, man.
I appreciate
Take it easy. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you have a wonderful one. And we'll see you in next month in Maryland and Virginia. Take care, man.
Best to all of you.